Hello fellow crafters, Janine here. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how I use my Cricut craft room to make these beautiful designs for my make your own vinyl 4th of July window clings. These are the designs that we're going to be working on today, the America the Beautiful and the 4th of July. So I'm going to start from scratch and show you how I built these designs from the ground up. Okay, for step one, for the design that we're going to be making, we're going to be doing it in 3 layers. So you can see here we only have 1 layer, and it's indicated by a red dot, which is good because since we're doing a 4th of July theme, it's red, white, and blue. So our first layer will be red. Our next layer we're going to make white to correspond with the color paper that we're going to be cutting. And then our third layer will be blue, but I'm going to go ahead and move the blue layer first because we're actually going to be working from the bottom to the top, and you'll see why. Okay, there's a couple of different ways that we can search for an image. We can either search by cartridge or we can do an image search. So in this field here I could type in like Independence Day or 4th of July and click search, and it will bring up every image from every cartridge that pertains to that theme. But I already know which cartridges have the images that I want to use, so I'm just going to scroll down, and they're labeled Independence Day, and then there's 4 different cartridges, and the images I want are on 2 of the different cartridges. And we're almost there. Okay, there we are. The first image I want is on Independence Day. And this is just going to be a single image. The second design we're going to be working on is a layered image using different layers. There's like the basic layer, the shadow layer, and so forth. This one we're going to be layering, but I'm going to be layering using the same image in the same size. So it's down here, the 4th of July. Now if I wanted to be able to see these a little more clearly, I could just go to this plus sign here, and it would enlarge the little squares, which would be much more easy to see. Okay, now you see we can see the 4th of July a little more clearly. So I'm going to take the 4th of July and I'm going to place it on my design mat. And I'm going to go ahead and minimize these images so that I can see more of my design mat at one time. And I'm going to move this image down to the bottom half of the design mat. Okay, now that I've got this image in about the position where I want it, I'm going to enlarge it to fill up as much of this space as possible, keeping in mind that the sheet of paper I'm actually working with is only 11 inches long, so I don't want to go to the full 12 inches with it, or it'll go off the end of the paper. Okay, now that I've got it the size that I want it, I'm just simply going to copy the image, then go to my next layer and paste the image. Oh, I'm sorry, it didn't go to the next layer. It just did it on the blue layer. We want to make sure we go to the yellow, the white layer. Okay, now that it's highlighted in green, I can see that we are on that layer. Okay, let's try this again. I'm copy and paste. There it is. Now that we see that it's in white, we know that we're on the white layer, which is where we want to be. we're going to move it into the cutting area of the mat. And I'm sorry, when I have it on the screen record, it moves really slow, so it can be a little difficult to show you exactly what I'm doing. And I'm just going to place it in about the same position as the blue layer. And now I'm going to go to the red layer and paste again. And now we're going to have to pull it back up in the same position that the other two are in. And that's good. It's within the cutting area. So now we're done with all the layers for the 4th of July. Now we're going to work on America the Beautiful. And I'm going to bring the cartridges toolbar back up. And America the Beautiful is in the Independence Day Freedom cartridge. Okay, this is the one where it's very helpful to build from the back up. And our bottom layer is going to be the blue layer. So I'm going to make sure that I've got the blue layer highlighted. Then I'm going to go to the very bottom layer of the America the Beautiful. You can see it's the 4th image from the left right here, America the Beautiful, and it says America. So we're going to go to the shadow layer. And we're going to go to the image that says America, and we're going to drag it up onto the mat. And then we're going to go, let me pull it onto the mat a little bit more. Okay, we're going to go to the next layer and make sure we go to the white layer. And again, choose the one that says America. Pull it over the blue layer. And put it in position. And now we're going to go to the front layer, which is the basic layer. And again, the one that says America. And put it over the first 2 layers, or the bottom 2 layers. Oh, my bad. I did it on layer 2. I should have had it on the red layer. Let's wait till it's through processing, and I'm just going to simply go right here to undo. Go to the red layer, which is the top layer, and pull that image up over the other 2. Now I'm going to minimize this so I can see more of my mat. I'm going to place this one over the other 2. I'm going to try and get it positioned a little better. That looks great. And now we're going to blow it up. And we're going to make the white layer fit that one. Okay, and now the blue layer. And this is why you put the blue one behind. It makes it everything easier to see when you've got them in the proper order when you're designing. It's just so much easier to see if everything is fitting together properly. Make that just a little bit bigger and pull it over a little bit. adjust the red layer a little bit. Just move it over and make sure everything's fitting properly. Alright, that looks great. Now we're done with the design process, and now you can see exactly how it's going to look when you put it all together, because you built it in the proper order with your layers. So the next step is to go to cut. And I love this about Cricut. You choose, I'm just going to skip over here to step 2. It gives you the different options you have available for the type of materials you're cutting. And today we're cutting vinyl, so it tells us to set our cutting depth of our blade to 3. There's 5 different depths, so we're going to set this one to 3. And we're going to set our pressure arm to 2. And we're going to leave the speed at 4 because that's what it recommends for vinyl. And we're only cutting this image one time out of the blue. So we're going to cut, actually I'm going to cut the red first. And so we go to layer 1, which is the red layer. And you can see that's what's so beautiful about setting the color of your layers to the color of the paper you're using. So that way there's no mistaking which color paper you're supposed to be cutting at which time. So we're going to go ahead and load the red paper onto the cutting mat and load it in the machine. Then we push the arrow button on the machine and it loads it. And then when we're ready to start cutting, we come over here and click cut, and it will automatically, it'll go ahead and load the mat into the proper position, and it will start cutting our image out for us. Okay, now that we have cut our red layer, we're going to go through the same process and cut the remaining 2 layers. So we would go to layer 2 and leave all of our settings the same for vinyl, load the white page, and go ahead and cut it. Once that's completed, we'll go to layer 3 and again load the blue paper onto the cutting mat, leave the settings the same, load it into the machine, and then click cut. And that is all there is to designing and cutting on your Cricut. And this is how I made these beautiful window clings with these 4th of July designs. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And please let me know if you would like to see some more Cricut tutorials, because there's so much you can do with a Cricut. I mean, the possibilities are endless, whether it be for scrapbooking, card making, vinyl making. There's just so many things you can do with it. So let me know if you'd like to see more of this. Thanks, and have a great day.